Hi friends, welcome back to Grateful Living Cruises. My name is Scott and I am here as your host at Grateful Living Cruises, where I share all things cruise reviews, tips, solo plus size travel experiences, all the fun that I get into. And today we are diving into one of the most important parts of any cruise. What might that be? The food. Ding, 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 ding. So I just sailed on the Carnival Breeze. As you guys know, if you look at my channel, I have a whole series of all my videos from the Carnival Breeze. And today I'm going to share with you the best dining options you can find on the Carnival Breeze. The best dining options you can find on board, from quick bites to full sit-down meals. You'll know exactly where to eat if you're about to go on the Carnival Breeze when you finish watching this video. And at the end, I'm going to give you guys a few little bonus tips to make sure you don't miss these little things that some people often miss when they're looking for food options. So sit back, join me in this video, and let's get right into the Carnival Breeze best dining options on board. Okay guys, let's just get it right out the gate, because I know you guys are all waiting for when Guy's Burgers is going to come on the list. So let's just start with Guy's Burgers. Number one, as you may or may not know, Carnival Cruise Lines, they are famous for having a joint venture with Guy Fieri, and they have Guy's Burgers on their cruise ships. So this is one of the most famous spots. It's the one that most people go to immediately when they get on the ship. It's the one everyone talks about. On the Carnival Breeze, Guy's Burgers is located poolside. So literally you get out of the pool, walk around a little bit, and it is an absolute must try. The burgers are juicy. The fries are seasoned very well. And guess what? It's included in your cruise fare. So you do not have to pay extra to get Guy's Burgers on Carnival. As a plus size traveler, I do appreciate how filling these burgers are, because have you ever been on, not just cruise ships, but have you ever been anywhere where you go to get an included burger and it's like basically a slider? Not here. Guy's Burgers, they're going to treat you right. And then they have a whole bar that you can fill all the toppings on as you want. They have all kind of sauces, veggies, toppings, even chili you can put on top of everything. So it is 100% a solid meal that you can have on the Carnival Breeze without paying anything extra. Now, sometimes, especially if you're trying to go on the first day or so, there may be a line, and also there may be a line during lunchtime because the place is really popular. So if I were you, I would wait and let everyone get it out of their system the first day, and then I would find a time that's not exactly at lunchtime to go check it out. Oftentimes when they first open or after the lunch crowd is done are the best times to go to Guy's Burger. So number one, best dining places on Carnival Breeze, and these are not in order, by the way, at all, but the first one we're talking about is Guy's Burger on the Carnival Breeze. Okay, let's just jump right into number two. This one I actually found a new love for, and I'm going to tell you guys why in just a minute. You may not, it may be a shocker for you. Why? I don't know, maybe not if you've watched my other videos. But number two is the BlueIguana Cantina. So right across from Guy's Burgers, so you have Guy's on this side of the Lido deck by the pool, and then if you walk to this side, you have the BlueIguana Cantina. This is your go-to for burritos, tacos, and they're all made fresh to order, including the tortillas. They have a machine. You watch them drop the dough through. But guys, the hidden gem here is the breakfast. So as you guys know, maybe if you've watched my other videos, I do not eat pork. And the BlueIguana Cantina is actually one place where you can get, without having to go to the dining room, for breakfast, you can get non-pork options. They have burritos, they have huevos rancheros, and they're delicious for breakfast. So seriously, skip the buffet one morning and grab breakfast or a breakfast burrito or whatever. The huevos rancheros, I highly recommend with the chicken. Grab those here at the Blue Iguana and then take them into the buffet area and eat them if it's really hot outside. Besides, they have this huge salsa bar with all different types of salsa and pico and all these other things that you can spice up your burrito or whatever you're getting from there very well. So they have breakfast and they have the lunch. Lunch is more traditional like tacos. They have fish and such like tacos. But for breakfast, that's the hidden gem, you guys. You have to check out Blue Iguana Cantina for breakfast one morning. And if I were you, I would do the huevos rancheros, like I was saying. Okay, guys. So yes, Blue Iguana Cantina, that's our number 2 stop on this food and dining journey on Carnival Breeze. Highly recommend, highly recommend them for breakfast. Check them out. Let's move on to number 3. Of course, you have the Lido Marketplace, which is the buffet on the Carnival Breeze, the Lido Marketplace. Now, if you like variety, this is probably going to be where you want to go. You're going to have international choices, a carving station, theme night. It's also open late night for little snacks, which is great if you're going after the comedy show or karaoke or whatever. It does get very crowded during peak time. So I think the common theme with all of these is going to be if you don't like crowds, like I don't like crowds, then you want to try to go during non-peak times. So peak times do get very busy. So just try to find that spot that works great for you and your schedule, but it is not when everybody else is trying to go. Oh, and also just a couple fair warnings. I know if you've watched my other videos, you've heard me complain about this over and over. For breakfast, if you do not eat pork, you're not going to find a lot of breakfast meat options at the Lido Marketplace if you're in that situation. That's why I suggest going to the Blue Iguana Cantina, or you can go to the main dining, which we'll talk about later for breakfast. However, one thing I would highly suggest is that you go to the Mongolian Grill in the Lido Buffet. They have a really good Mongolian grill where you pick out all the veggies and you stuff them in the bowl as much as you can. And then you pick a meat and they cook it all fresh for you. That is very good. There is often a long line for this, same as guys, same as the other places. So you just have to pick a time that it's not super busy, but definitely you don't want to miss the Mongolian Grill on the Lido Buffet on Carnival Breeze. Trust me, it's really good. Okay, let's talk about number 4. We'll skip around a little bit, change it up a little bit before we go to the others, but let's talk about specialty dining options. So all cruise ships have specialty dining unless they're one of these all-inclusive type ships. And specialty dining are restaurants or food options they have that cost extra on top of what you've already paid to get on the cruise ship. Oftentimes, these are places like steakhouses. It could be sushi or teppanyaki type places. It could be an Italian restaurant. So there are different specialty type restaurants where you go and it's more like a formal sit down type restaurant that are extra than what you've already paid. So I did go to several of the specialty dining restaurants on the Carnival Breeze, and just stick with me here because I'm going to give you something here in a bit that may shock you, a statement. So I went to the Cucina del Capitano, which is the Italian restaurant, one night, and it was delicious. The Caesar salad was amazing. The appetizers, the service, everything in there was so good. Now, let me tell you, when I went on the Carnival Jubilee before, I had only gone there for lunch. And at lunch, it's a completely different setup. It's just like a pasta menu. But if you go for dinner, where it does cost a little bit extra, it's still very reasonable, but it does cost a little extra for dinner. You can go and it's a full-blown Italian menu. So if you've gone and you've only gone for lunch, give them a try at dinner. It's completely different and arguably, in my opinion, absolutely worth the money and the visit to go do so, right? Okay, I also went to the Steakhouse, Fahrenheit 555. So this obviously is going to be like a premium steak experience. Now, I'm not a huge steak person, but I wanted to go here just because I wanted to try some options so that I could bring them back and share with you guys. I was really surprised. Like everything was great. Again, the service was great. The food was great. My steak, even though I'm not a huge steak eater, was very nice. Everything was just really good. I was really surprised because I have been on steak houses of other cruise ships that I didn't really think was worth the money. But this one on the Carnival Breeze, I personally think my experience and my food was really good. I've heard other reviewers say opposite of me, but the experience I had was very, very nice, and the food was very good, and I thought well worth the money that I spent on that meal. So also they have bonsai sushi on the Carnival Breeze as a specialty restaurant. I did not go here on the Carnival Breeze, but I have been there on other ships. And if you want just like basic sushi and basic, kind of things, this is going to be a great place for you. I am very spoiled and we go to really nice sushi restaurants around the area that I live here in Dallas, Texas. So for me, bonsai sushi is a little too basic for me to spend that kind of money on when I get much better at home. But if you are a type person that you're wanting to experiment with sushi or you've never had it before, I would highly recommend it because this will be a great introduction to the sushi world. For sure. So these do come with extra costs, but in my opinion, the portions and when you take your main entree in addition to your appetizers and the desserts, it's definitely worth it, especially if you're celebrating something special. So maybe you do main dining and buffet every night of the cruise, but you have someone that's having a birthday or an anniversary or something, and then you take that one night to choose one of these specialty restaurants. It will definitely change up the pace of the cruise, and I think it will really give you something different and exciting to look forward to. So I highly recommend the specialty dining on the Carnival Breeze. And let me tell you guys, we just got off of a celebrity cruise ship for an Alaskan cruise. Those videos are coming soon, by the way. I think the Carnival specialty dining was better than the specialty dining we had on Celebrity. I'm going to get all kind of flack for that, but I'm just saying, I'm telling you guys the truth. That's my personal opinion. You go on the ship and come back and tell me if I'm wrong. Okay, let's talk about the main dining room. Of course, all cruise ships, the main dining room, almost all cruise ships, I should say. The main dining room is included in your cruise fare, and that is not an exception with Carnival. You go to the main dining room. It's a very nice setup. It's a little bit more formal than going to the buffet, but not so formal that it feels weird, even on formal night. And they have a menu. Every night they have a different menu. They have a section that's pretty much the same that you can order from every night, or you can try something new from the daily rotating menu. And I had a good experience here as well. So, the thing I like about the main dining room sometimes is, it's such kind of a big room, and it's usually really well decorated, and it's kind of like the show off area of the ship. So even when I cruise by myself, I typically go to the main dining room for dinner every night, unless I have a specialty reservation, just because the atmosphere itself is kind of worth it, in my opinion. So I had some great meals here at the main dining room on the Carnival Breeze, and just want to make sure you guys don't forget about it. I mean, you're going to have the classic cruise experience in the main dining room. Like I said, sit down dinners. The menus rotate each day. They have the signature dessert, which is probably my favorite thing of the whole thing, which is that Carnival warm chocolate melting cake. It's so good. Anyway, you can try multiple appetizers and entrees, and so you can get a little bit of everything, and you're definitely going to be full by the time you leave. If you're not full by the time you left, then that's your fault, because even if you don't like something, you can return it and get something else. So just saying, don't skip out on the main dining room, especially on the Carnival Breeze. They did a great job while I was on the ship. Now, as I told you guys, we have something coming up here, some honorable mentions that you don't want to miss. So hang in there with me. But before we go down that path, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do so. It really helps me to grow this channel and to continue going on these cruises and to provide you guys tips and tricks and my opinions of everything along the way. I'm a growing channel, as you guys probably already know. So your subscribes and likes are very helpful to me. So go ahead, before we move on, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and leave me a comment. Am I right about the specialty dining on the Carnival Breeze? Is it really that good? Do you guys like it or not? I thought it was great. I want to hear what you say down in the comments below. So let me know. Okay, number 6, let's talk about honorable mentions on the Carnival Breeze. Best dining places on board. Something you should know about. They have a place called Pizza Pirate. It serves pizza. Also, the Seafood Shack is actually quite good. I really enjoyed it. I had gotten a certificate because of a room fiasco. You can go watch those on my channel if you want. But I ended up using that certificate at the Seafood Shack, and they do like a shrimp boil. That was really good. And you can get a lobster roll, and it comes with 2 little sandwiches. And what I learned was if you just take the meat out of one and put it in the other, and it comes with fries and stuff. So it's like one really nice lobster roll sandwich if you don't want all that bread. But I thought that was a really good option. So you kind of have to sit at the picnic table in the back there of the aft of the ship to have that. But I don't know. I thought it was really good. So maybe that's something that you should check out too if you're a seafood lover. And then also, guys, don't forget they have the Java Blue Cafe. I'm not really a coffee person, but also around the corner from there, they have an empanada place. And then they do have like cupcakes and snacks and things like that they do serve at Java Blue. So if you're not a coffee person, don't skip on it just because you think it's just about coffee. They have all sorts of other things that you can grab there. So if you're just kind of wanting to grab something and you're not wanting to wait or be in a crowd, that might be a good option for you to hang out at as well. So, these are what I'm considering the best dining options on the Carnival Breeze. So whether you want something quick by the pool, if you want endless variety over at the buffet at the Lido Marketplace, or a nice steakhouse or Italian dinner, there is literally something for everyone. If you've sailed on the Carnival Breeze, let me know your favorite place to eat in the comments below. I would love to hear from you, and I will read all the comments and reply. It might take me some time, but I will do it. So let me know your favorite place to eat on the Carnival Breeze if you've been. And also, you guys, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and check out all my other adventures. I have a whole series on the Carnival Breeze linked in a playlist here at the end. And every cruise I go on, I do a whole series. So there's all kind of topics on every cruise ship that I ever go on. And they range from things about traveling as a plus size person, traveling solo over the age of 40, just tips and tricks in general that maybe you're not catching on your run-of-the-mill YouTube video. But these are also my opinions, guys. So if I'm not 100% correct on everything or you don't agree with me, that's fine. But these are my opinions, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned because I have more videos coming to wrap up this series before we jump over to the Alaskan adventure on the Celebrity Edge. I'll talk to you guys soon. Remember, stay positive, allow positivity into your life, and when you do, those things will surely come your way.